Hello friends, happy Thursday. It is time for our weekly card class. My name is Rachel Trout and I come to you every Thursday with a card class that you can watch and be inspired by. And I hope you enjoy today's cards. Throughout the summer, my videos have been pre-recorded and you have been able to find them on YouTube. So thank you for bearing with me all summer and watching them there. Starting next week, I will be back to my live videos, and they will be live over on my Facebook business page every Thursday at 12 o'clock p.m. Arizona time. Right now we line up with Pacific time. So if you don't already follow me on there, there's a link in the description of the video where you can go follow my business page, and you can join me live next week if you want. Then I will post the replay still on YouTube, and so if you are a subscriber on YouTube, you'll still be able to find it there. It will just be a little bit later than you've been used to this summer. I've been posting them around 10 a.m. This summer. This week's is going to be a little bit later because I'm just filming it this morning. I guess I could have gone live today, but it is my first day to myself since May. My kids went back to school yesterday. My husband usually works from his office on Wednesdays and Thursdays, but yesterday he stayed home to do some of the first day of school things with the kids, and so he's in the office today, and I'm home by myself, which is great for me. My personality needs that. I can tell the last few weeks especially that I needed a day to myself, so I decided to still pre-record today so that I could do it in the time frame I wanted and then have the rest of the day. I'm hoping to do at least one of the layouts in the virtual album retreat because I bought that and wasn't able to do it when it was live. I don't know if any of you are Taylor Swift fans. I would not consider myself a Swiftie, but I do like following her and watching her. So I turned on, the New Heights podcast this morning. I was watching some of that. I'm just enjoying the day to myself. So next week I'll be live though. So like I said, there's a couple ways to find me. You can like my Facebook business page and see it live there. You can subscribe on YouTube and you'll get notifications there. Or if you join my email list, I also email out the videos every week. So that is a great way to stay connected also. And I'll put that link in the description of the video too. Today's cards are pretty sweet and simple. We are using a bundle that really lends itself well to pairing with any products that you want. I think that the samples they posted online are more of like a fall vibe, and I can see that because it's called Label Me Grateful. So Thanksgiving time, you're thinking about things you're grateful and thankful for, and it's a sentiment stamp set. So really you can pair it with anything. The possibilities are endless. I've shared a couple samples so far this week. The first one was one of our cards we'll be making today. I'm using the Kintsugi Inspirations Designer Series paper, which is beautiful. The second sample I shared used the Floral Charm Designer Series paper. And then the other thing I'm working on today is designing my card club for this month, which is going to use this bundle. And I'm going to use the Painterly Pairs Designer Series paper. So I'll show you that when we flip the camera down. But like I said, this bundle you can pair with anything. Now, I hope you enjoy watching today, but if you would like a card kit sent to you for the cards that we're making today, you can shop with me now through Tuesday. And when you spend more than $50 before tax and shipping and after Stampin Rewards, I will send you the card kit to make the 3 cards. There's a shopping link also in the description of the video, so you can use that, and I love sending those out. Thank you to those who have been shopping with me. I've gotten to send some out just about every week recently, and it's always a lot of fun because I could just picture you getting the happy mail. Some of you have sent me pictures of the cards that you've made, which I love, and it's so much fun to craft together even though we are just connected through a screen, right? All right, I'm going to flip the camera down and show you what we will be using today. And I totally forgot to bring the Kintsugi paper in here to show you that, but you'll get to see snippets of it on the cards today. And I think I'll be using it again in the future because I wasn't too sure about it at first. But I've seen samples using that entire suite that I love, and I ended up ordering the bundle too. So you'll probably see it again in the future. All right, today's bundle is called Label Me Grateful. Like I said, it's a sentiment set. You've got 5 sentiments. You've got your basic thank you, but then you've got some other nice ones that I think are a little unique, maybe not ones that you have already. And they're great for appreciating people and telling them how grateful you are for them. Then the die set. I love this label die. That is, where the bundle gets its name, I think. But then you've got a lot of accessory dies. So acorns, great for fall. This even looks almost like a poinsettia to me. So you could go Christmas, or you could do bright colors for a different kind of flower. You've got greenery, you've got leaves. Again, this screams fall to me. And then just some other, greenery type pieces. So lots of fun can be had with this bundle. It is one of our online exclusive products, so it's not in any of our catalogs, but you can purchase it in my online store, and it is a great one. In the description of the video, I also have a list of suggested products that you might want to order this week. That will include all the names of everything that I'm using today, so that you have your shopping list if you like what you see. Now, before we get to our cards for today, I just wanted to show you, you know what, guys? Life has been crazy lately, like it always is, but I'm behind again on my design work. So today's job is to design cards for my card club this month. I'm going to be using the Painterly Pairs Designer Series paper, these low profile sparkle dots, and this mossy meadow and gold ribbon. Let's hope it's not mossy mold. But this is part of another suite in our online exclusives, and I just decided to use this bundle with it because I think the stuff is gorgeous, but I didn't get the bundle that goes in this suite. And my monthly card club is another great way to get a card making kit sent to you. For my card club, though, it includes more of the product, and you do some of the cutting yourself, like you're going to cut the designer series paper for the cards yourself. You get to make 8 cards, so it's a little beefier than my weekly card class. It's 4 designs, and you make 2 of each. And then you're going to get the whole roll of ribbon, you're going to get the whole pack of embellishments, and you get a half pack of the DSP. I usually cut it down to 6 by 6 so that it ships nicely and doesn't get bent. But you get a half pack of that. You'll use some of these things on your cards, but then you have leftovers to play with, which is so much fun. You get everything cut for you except for dies that are in the bundle. So like, well, this is one of the cards we're making today. But if this was in my card club kit, you would get cardstock and foil pieces to cut these out with the dies in the set. But like this embossed piece, that is not part of the bundle, so I would emboss it for you. Or I don't think I used any dies on these cards for today that aren't part of the bundle. But let's say I used like a circle die or a circle punch, I would punch that for you. It would be done and sorted. You get envelopes, you get a PDF and a printed tutorial, and it's $44 a month. You can join or cancel anytime. And the $44 includes shipping also. And then if you belong for 6 consecutive months, I send you a fun little gift package. So I will post a link for the card club in the description also. And if you are on my email list, you'll get all the information emailed to you hopefully this afternoon, but at the latest tomorrow. And that will definitely have everything laid out. So make sure you're on my email list, and then you'll get all the information there. But the deadline for that club is the 20th of the month. So if you like the bundle today, you could add it to your order and get the card kit for this class, and then subscribe to the card club and make even more cards with it, which is fun. Okay, I already showed you this one. This is one I posted on social media earlier this week, but this uses some of the dies in the set, and really, really pretty with the Misty Moonlight. So I'm using some products from the Kintsugi Inspiration Suite, this embossing folder, and then the paper. And this suite is really cool because, let me show you the second card. The idea behind this is that you use broken pieces of pottery, and you glue them back together and make it something beautiful again. And I think that is a great metaphor for life, for lots of things. And I love the story behind it. I think I've told you guys before, I attended an online creative convention earlier in the summer when the catalog first came out. And Erica Serwin, who is one of my favorite designers, did a class for us using the Kintsugi suite, and I just fell in love with her project. So after that, I ended up ordering it. So you'll probably see these products again. It has a whole bundle, and it's just awesome. I feel like I'm talking all over the place today, so hopefully you are not getting confused with all of my different things. My brain is fried, guys. All fried. Lots of life decisions going on right now, and my brain has no more capacity. All right, so for this card class, you'd get everything cut and ready for you. So really all you need is sentiments. And if you don't have this bundle, you can use any sentiments that you want. When you shop with me this week and you earn the card kit, you're going to get exactly what I just dumped out of the envelope. And I sort them in the envelope, so everything is sorted for you. So this one has a thick basic white card base, 5.5 by 8.5. We'll fold that in half. And then I have to show you this. This embossing folder I think is really unique and pretty. I love that it has different things in every section. Really fits the story of the products in this suite, and it's just so pretty. So this is a piece of Misty Moonlight that is 5.25 by 4. And it is embossed, and my Stampin' Seal didn't fail me today. Sometimes when you use Stampin' Seal on embossed pieces like this, it just does not work. But today, it is working, so that's good. Then we have a piece of the Kintsugi Inspirations Designer Series paper. This is a specialty paper. It has gold foiling, which is very pretty. And the Designer Series paper is 2 by 5.25. Just really pretty color combinations in this too. Petal Pink, Misty Moonlight, the gold. So I'm going to line that up with the edges of my Misty Moonlight here. Then I have a label that I've cut with the Label Me Grateful dies out of basic white. And we're going to use Misty Moonlight ink. And since I'm adding some of the die cuts, I'm going to kind of stamp down in this corner. Hopefully I got good ink coverage on that. I think so. All right, I don't want to shadow. Sometimes I will just press where the words are just a little bit so that that part is inked really well and I don't get that, you know, the edge, the halo edge. Okay, we are going to add this to our card with some dimensionals. I know when I posted that my kids were going back to school the other day, some of you said that's really early. It actually, for this area, is kind of late because a lot of schools around here are year-round or modified year-round. And they went back in the middle of July, which is crazy. I mean, even yesterday felt early to me. My kids were not excited to go back to school. But we'll all survive, I think. Okay, so now we've got some pieces I cut with the dies. So you can, there's 2 of these leafy dies, so you can cut 2 at once. So I cut them out of gold foil, and then I cut a Misty Moonlight flower. Now, this is not a current punch, but I did a 1/2 inch circle punch out of the gold that we're going to put behind the flower. So that kind of shows through. Now, I'll give you that in the card kit, but if you're doing this at home, you can fussy cut a little piece. It doesn't have to be a perfect circle because it's just going behind that flower. And I'm going to use my liquid glue. And we'll just put a few dots around here to help hold that circle on. I don't even know how much it's going to touch those, but I'll pick up a little of the glue there. Okay, and then I think I just added everything with mini glue dots. Probably, that sounds like me, right? I wouldn't use the liquid glue unless I had to. So we're just going to arrange the greenery up here with a few glue dots. You could use glue also. And some of it's going to be hanging off the edge, so I don't need too many glue dots here. We'll just do one there. And then one the other way. And then we'll add that flower. All right, so that one's gonna go up kind of like that. And then if you wanted to, you could add the flower with dimensionals. Maybe I will do that. Hopefully it'll stick. And maybe let it dry a little bit longer, because I don't want just my gold circle to be stuck down. I want the flower to be stuck down too. There. I don't think I used dimensionals the first time, but I kind of like that. Okay, and then the ribbon that we're using today, so I don't include ribbon or embellishments in these card kits because that keeps them flat and easier for me to mail. But you can add these ribbons and embellishments onto your order, or you can just use something that you already have in your stash. This is actually a really good one to add to your order. If you like this Kintsugi paper, it matches it really well. This is our Misty Moonlight and White 1/4 inch starter ribbon pack. It is only $5. You get 2 rolls of ribbon, but the thing to note is I think there's only 5, there's maybe even less than 5 yards. There's not as much ribbon on these, but it's just a cute little combo pack, and it's only $5, which is awesome. So we're going to use the Misty Moonlight ribbon. This ribbon actually reminds me a lot of, I think we had an in color ribbon when Misty Moonlight wasn't in color. That was a lot like this. What was the other? There was a pink and a yellow and a green that year. Some of you who have been around for a while probably know what colors and ribbons I'm talking about. Bumblebee maybe was a color then, and what was the pink? Something magenta, or it was kind of a magenta color. I don't know. But anyways, it reminds me of that ribbon. And I believe Misty Moonlight wasn't in color in that ribbon, so sometimes you see things come back around. All right, we're just going to add that ribbon on the corner here. And then the embellishment I'm using today is our brushed brass butterflies. You could use, right now on our clearance rack, we have those adhesive-backed hearts, heart sequins that I love. Those are gold. Those would go well here too. We have the tiny bee trinkets. What else? I think there's dragonflies. You could just use any gold embellishment that you wanted. I thought the butterflies were cute with the flowery paper and everything. So there is our first card. Now, I forgot to say this, but I also like to send the cards that I make every week. So I draw winners from everyone who comments, and I send the 3 cards from the video that I made to those 3 random people. So make sure you say hi and let me know what you think of the cards in the comments. And you might be one of our lucky winners this week. I usually draw those on Monday. Okay, our second card is so simple, but the paper really makes the card, I think. And like I said, this bundle is really nice to use with any designer series paper that you like. So for this one, I have a basic beige card base, 5.5 by 8.5, folded in half. And then I have a piece of Misty Moonlight that is 3 3/4 by 5, and a piece of the Kintsugi Inspirations paper that is 3.5 by 4 3/4. And look, the back is a cloud cover pattern. I really like the color combination in this paper. There's also a little bit of Old Olive, which actually I cut out. I purposely picked pieces of this that didn't have the Old Olive because I didn't want that in this card. But I paired Old Olive with another piece of the designer series paper for my next card. So you can kind of see, but I love the other colors. Misty Moonlight, Cloud Cover, Petal Pink, Basic Beige. Really nice combination, I think. This one is a little directional, so you can kind of look and see. This definitely is a little directional. I don't think it would, I mean, you could go upside down. So whatever piece you get in your card kit, you can decide which way it's going to go. Then we have another label. I use this label on every single card today because it's awesome. Excuse me. We're using our Misty Moonlight ink again. And another one of the sentiments in the set, a little kindness makes a big difference. right, and that one we're going to go a little more towards the bottom because I'm going to tie my ribbon at the top. Same thing, I'm just kind of pressing down in the middle where the words are, so hopefully I don't get that shadow. Perfect. Maybe a little off center, that's okay. It's a handmade card, right? All right, we're going to add that label with dimensionals again. Backing does not want to come off of that one. There we go. And I'm just going to put it a little bit at an angle. You can put it straight if you like that better, but I'm going a little bit at an angle. And we are going to use the Misty Moonlight ribbon again because I think it kind of pops off the white there. The white might blend in a little bit, but you can choose to use the white if you want. Maybe you even have some of that old Misty Moonlight ribbon in your stash and you could use some of that. All right, add our bow with a mini glue dot and then finish it off with a few of the butterflies. Like I said, this one is super simple, but really pretty. All right, a few of our butterflies here. And I'm using my Take Your Pick tool. It is probably the most used tool in my craft space. If you don't have one yet, you need to add it to your order. I think the Take Your Pick tool, when I was doing in-person classes, this was probably my most popular item that I would sell to people because I would use it, they would try it, someone else would buy it, and then everyone's using them at the class, and they all had to have one. And yes, you definitely need a Take Your Pick tool. Okay, so there's that one. We'll tuck that into an envelope for a lucky winner. And now let's take a look at our third card. So this one I pulled in the Old Olive. Isn't this piece pretty? It's the basic beige and gold. And this card we're going to do a few little fun techniques. So let's pull this out. It's still super simple, but it is a little bit fun. So for this one we have an Old Olive card base, 5.5 by 8.5, folded in half. And then a piece of the Designer Series paper that is 3 by 4. The back of this one is a nice Misty Moonlight pattern. This Designer Series paper also has, like, it looks almost like waves. A Misty Moonlight wave pattern that works really well for, like, the sailboat bundle or anything, like, oceany that you, I don't know. It's a good pattern for that. All right, then we have our label. This time I cut it out of basic beige. And this time we're going to stamp our sentiment in Old Olive. And again, I'm going to stamp more towards the bottom because we're going to add some of the die cuts in the ribbon at the top. So let's see here. Hopefully I'll get that pretty straight. Okay, there we go. All right, then I have cut a few die cuts out of basic white. So I have the acorns and then I cut 2 sets of the leaves. Now you could cut these out of colored cardstock if you want. I thought it would be fun to color with Stampin' Blends today so we could get a little bit of variation. So I'm starting with pecan pie on my acorns. And I have the dark pecan pie. And we're just going to color the top of the acorns and the stem with our dark pecan pie. Just a fun little way to color it. Like I said, you can use colored cardstock. You could cut it out of 2 different colors of cardstock and kind of piece it together. That would be fun also. But I thought, why not? Let's just color it today. And I'm doing it on my glass mat, so if I make a mess, I'll just clean it off later. Otherwise, I'd recommend doing it on a piece of scrap paper. All right, I'm also going to color the stems of my leaves with the dark pecan pie. And I don't know if it was the last week's video or the week before where I was using pecan pie. and I could only find one of my markers, but I have been cleaning off my counter that I work on in my kitchen, and I found the other one. So we're using both today. I have light pecan pie, and I think it was the dark one that was missing because I could tell my light one was more used up. So I think that's the one we were using the other week. And now I'll probably have to order a new set at some point because I used up the light when I couldn't find my dark marker. Oh well. I have been working a lot on cleaning things out. I have to tell you guys, well, I shared the photo of my stamp sets yesterday. I was actually shocked how many I took off of the shelf. Some of them are not gone yet. They're on our last chance list, but I pulled those off right away and I don't know, put them away for now. And I am going to have a huge BOGO sale next time I do my BOGO sale. Right now I'm planning on doing it the beginning of October sometime. I don't have exact dates set yet, but I will let you know. But I am really trying to clean out because I just have years and years of things. And you know, it's one thing, like I love to craft as a hobby, but when you're running it as a business, you wind up with, like, you can't keep everything. So I really need to do some cleaning out, and you guys are going to have to help me and buy some of my stuff. Help me clean out my space. All right, I'm using dark old olive here, and you'll just see some variation in the colors of the leaves. This is one of the reasons why I'm using our Stampin' Blends markers, because then I could have some leaves that were darker, and now I'm going to use the light old olive on this set, and then we'll get two different shades of leaves. Well, anyways, as I was saying, I'm really trying to clean out. So I think I've told you this before. My oldest daughter really just wants to, like, be a farmer when she grows up. She's 13. She loves farm animals. She loves work. Like, we have friends that live on 30 or 40 acres. They have a few animals, and we have stayed with them and helped them with animals before, and she just loves that. And my husband would love to go buy land somewhere cheaper and do more homesteading type stuff. And, you know, we kind of joke about this off and on, like moving somewhere and buying land, and it is joking, but I feel like one day they're all going to be like, yep, let's do it. Let's move to a farm. And I'm going to be like, I am not ready to move. And actually, this is the longest I've ever lived in one house in my life. We've been here for 8.5 years. I moved around a lot as a kid, and I don't know. I'm finding some things, like, I've never had to clean before because I've never lived somewhere long enough to have to, like, clean it out and stuff. So it's really interesting for me, but I'm like, I really need to clean out and get rid of some stuff, because that day's going to come when they're going to be like, we're going to go move to a farm, and I'm going to be like, no, I have too much stuff. And yeah, so that is my life right now, guys. I am cleaning out and organizing because it is well past due. My kids are also getting to be older, so we have a lot of, like, toys and stuff from when they were younger that are still out that either need to be put away to be kept or sold. And so it's a big job. All right, we added this with dimensionals, and now we've got to add all these pieces, and we are going to use glue dots because I like glue dots better than glue. You can use glue if you want. I feel like today is life chats with me, and you are probably getting a lot of information you really didn't need, but that's okay. I hope it is entertaining to you. I am going to use glue on this because it's so tiny. And I think I did use glue on my leaves too on my first card, but that's okay. So we're going to overlap a little bit. And then let's see, our other leaves are going to kind of get tucked under our label here. These would also be pretty watercolored if you wanted to do that. On our regular cardstock, I maybe wouldn't, so I guess I'm going to go there because I don't want the glue to stick out. All right. Maybe I would have put it a little lower, but that's okay. All right, let's move the glue out of the way. This time we're going to use the white ribbon. It will pop a little bit against the green. And there's no blue in our card, so that probably wouldn't look too nice. Have you ever seen those memes about, like, you know, someone saying something and then they're like, oh, squirrel. Yeah, that's how I feel today. So I'm sorry, it is a squirrel day. My brain is everywhere. Okay, here we go. Scissors, do your job. Okay, we'll put that up here at the top of our little leaves. And then we'll finish off with a few of the butterflies. Oops. All right, there is our third card. So let's tuck that one in the envelope too. We are going to show you all 3 cards again. So remember, if you would like the card kit, shop now through Tuesday using the shopping link in the description of the video. And if you spend more than $50 before tax and shipping and after Stampin Rewards, I will send you the card kit for these 3 cards. I love sending the card kits. I would love for you to create these along with me. And this week it's pretty simple because it's just sentiments for the stamping. Excuse me, and you get everything else. Thank you so much for joining me today. Sorry for all the squirrel moments. Please join me live next week or watch the replay on YouTube here. I am so happy that you join me and watch me every week, and I will see you again soon. Bye.